Good afternoon.
My name is Chevis. Everybody say hi, Chevis.
Hi, Chavez.
All right. And so I'm the creator, the author, the artist, the director of The Whole Armor. All right. And so The Whole Armor is about young people with social emotional challenges, struggles, and sins, mental illnesses. They have all of those things that manifest into demons or monsters, and they have to go to a spiritual realm to fight that demon to get their real lives back on track. And they do so by putting on the whole armor of God. And so what I've created is a comic book series. Obviously, I'm an artist. I discovered my gift when I was 6 years old, and I never let it go. When I got to middle school, I fell in love with comic books. My dad used to make me read every single Sunday, and I hated reading because it was just the words. And then I discovered comic books, and it took reading to a whole nother level. And so I want kids who may not like reading to also have that connection where they can have art and literacy together. And not only that, they can get the word of God or some encouragement through the books that I wrote. All right, so there's 10 books, and then I have a new release of 4 new books. Deals with lying, cheating, stealing, vanity, hypocrisy, and then the final books deal with lust of the eyes, lust of the flesh, and pride of life. And they have a spiritual war at the end with all the characters and all the demons in the 7 series. All right. And so over the years, people said, "Where are the children's books?" And I said, I'm already working on these, so I need to just stick with what I'm on. And so the books are like 6th grade and up to young adults. And then I created now this year Elijah's Belt. It's the first children's book that we have, and it's each children's book will be in alignment with the other books, but it'll be a children's version. And each book for the kids' books will be a different piece of the armor. So the first armor is the belt of truth, which is Elijah's belt, and it's based on the same name, The Truth About Lies, and we'll see that a little bit later. With that said, my degree is in animation. All right, I'm an animator. I went to college for animation, Savannah College of Art and Design. My love for comic books and animation led me to the journey I'm on today. I started book number 1 in 2006. It's 2026, so this is a 20-year journey so far of ministry that God has blessed me to be a part of. And so we'll see where it goes on this journey. And so with that said, I'm going to introduce you to the Whole Armor film. All right, it's our first episode for the animated series that we're going to produce. And it's won over 12 awards worldwide for best animation, best film, and film festivals. All right, and then you can tell me what you think, and we'll also read one of the books as well. And I'll answer any questions you have.
Sorry, I can call it easy. Hey, all my life I had to fight. I a lot of sacrifice. Take a lot of L's for some bad advice. My exes is fighting demons. I'm so sorry, I apologize. I can call it easy. Sorry, my exes is fighting demons. I'm so sorry, I apologize. I can call it easy. Yeah, the bell true, right? And I have been working it from my youth. And right now I'm speaking it from the booth. General in the army, I'm looking for some recruits. So we can fight this mess. Breastplate, righteousness. We forever winning. Whole armor on me. the truth, I can't be still, I can't be quiet. We gon' stick together till the end and not divide. This ain't telling stories, I'm gon' take you on a ride. Ain't no story, that's insanity. That's insanity. You see hypocrite, you the enemy. Elijah parents say they thinking about some freaky things. And I ain't tryna have no pride, not by any man trying to. Guillotine, give it to the guillotine. Get down in that water like a submarine. I can't do anything, be more than 30 till I can. I had to put the whole armor on me. Fighting season, fighting demons. Sorry, I can't call it even. Fight. All my life I had to fight. Fight a lot of sacrifice. Took a lot of L's for some better bags. Fighting season, fighting demons. I'm so sorry, I apologize. I can't call it even. Sorry, fighting season, fighting demons. I'm so sorry, I apologize. I can't call it even. Sorry.
First Corinthians 9:23. I do all of this for the sake of the gospel, that I may share in its blessings. You should know that in a race, all runners run, but only one gets the prize. So I run in such a way as to get the prize. Everyone who competes in the Olympics goes into strict training. They do it for a crown that will not last. But I do it to get a prize that will last forever. I have fought a good fight. I have finished my race. I have kept the faith. Now, there is in store for me a crown of righteousness.
It was all a dream.
That was a crazy dream. My name's Elijah. I'm a 17-year-old Christian. Yeah, seriously, we are an endangered species. Being good is the hardest thing to do. Being between peer pressure and social media, it's like a battle every single day. That's my mom, y'all. I have a pretty mom, but I know she has an ugly secret. She's living a life of lies. She says she's running errands, but she's really walking in darkness. She's lying to me and herself. Here's my dad.
Hey, son.
He has issues with going to bars and clubs after work, but he's really a hard worker. I don't even think he takes a day off.
It don't work.
But you know who else doesn't take a day off? Satan. He's working hard too, but to break up my family. This is my homeboy Caden. Every week he comes with these stories. Like, I mean, I know he's lying, but normally I would just appease him and listen, but not today, man. He's like, boom, bam, bing, and I'm like, cap. My favorite part of the morning, I get to see a girl bash. Yeah. Wait a minute, I didn't hear from her this weekend. I wonder what. She must think I'm stupid. She posts everything on the gram. She lying to me too? It's like whatever, man.
I didn't do anything.
Let me read my word. I just can't believe this. Why would they lie to me like that? The Lord protects those of childlike faith. That's me. I was facing death, and He saved me. This feels like hell. Let my soul be at rest again. The Lord has been good to me. Thank you. He saved me from death. My eyes from tears, my feet from stumbling. I almost fail, y'all. Sometimes. So I walk in the Lord's presence because I live here on earth. I believed in you. Deeply troubled, Lord. In my anxiety, I cry out to you. Are all mine, Lord.
See, loading.
Shut your lying lips. Talk about my people.
I like what you did there. Lying lips.
Hurt my hand.
Stupid boy. I'm not flesh and blood, boy. I'm spiritual. Guys. I've been wanting to talk about Baby down. Bring it down. Alright, that's best.
the weak, sinful, and all that. Shut up, place like a fire. This is the second death.
A lot of activity going on here.
You recognize the voice?
Yes, you.
No, let's sing it.
Get out.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't catch that.
Yeah. Well, I did the voice, but I had him remake my song,
Oh, wow.
acapella version. He did all the production on the acapella version.
Wow.
Now, with this being a Christian
Mm-hmm.
thing, would this be like separation of church and state type situation? I'm gonna introduce it anyway, I don't care. I'm not sure.
Well, we're not preaching or to
Right.
convert anybody.
Right.
We're just presenting artists who has a product that happens to be a Christian.
Okay, one thing I seen, it would be excellent for my home and careers class because I see career exploration, I see various type of media
Mm-hmm.
outlets, animation, and it definitely help further expand our 20 comic book writers. They have already developed their comic book, take it to another level.
Mm-hmm.
And that's,
Absolutely.
you know, and they're getting ready, most of them are going into the 9th grade.
Okay.
So after this year, they'll leave us, so this will be
So like
excellent.
media production or?
Yeah, especially if they go to Edison.
Edison has a media program.
Oh my God, do they?
I might need to go over there.
Yeah. I would say, what's his brother's name over there? Jason? Is it Jason?
I don't know, but I'll find
The
out.
principal is a brother.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. He's
Okay.
good too.
Okay,
Good dude.
I'll reach out to them.
Yeah.
Okay, so well, just to give you some of my background, I was a teacher for 14 years in Miami, and when I started teaching high school in 2012, everything I did was based on art careers because most people don't realize how many careers you can have in art, and they've expanded since then. And so each semester I would teach an art career. So we did fashion design, we did graphic design, we did culinary arts. So anything that was art related, I would teach them through that means. And then we also did at the school that I was at, Booker T. Washington Senior High. And what I did was I had all the students work together to create murals around the school. So they would design it and then we would go to each wall and then paint. So now if you go to the school, there's art all over produced by the students. And you can be an artist doing murals, a mural artist. So those are some opportunities that that happen when you fall into the arts. Now you have people that's artists that making apps and websites, all those things, and that falls under the careers of graphic design.
So you teach graphic design?
I can teach graphic design. I've taught it, but I don't teach it now. I do mainly fine arts, and I teach
Okay.
kids how to do comic books and animation.
Oh, okay.
I try to stay within the realm so I'm not spread so far.
Spread too far,
Mhm.
yeah.
When I was at, Arcadia, I had a, art teacher, and she had this list of what art can do,
Mhm.
and it was in small print. I
Oh.
know it had to be maybe 2,000 jobs.
Yeah,
Minimum. It was,
absolutely.
I was like, ooh, I need that. But it's just, you just can't see all the different things that you can do,
Right.
you know, and going this way. And I thought cosmetology had at least, it had 29, and I added 2 more, 31 to 35 different jobs. I
Mhm.
mean, careers
Careers.
that you could have. And these are the things that can change the kids, their direction in
Mhm.
terms of, they might like something, but it might be like aspect dealing with, like with Kyle, dealing with clients. They may not want to deal with personalities.
Right.
So they might go into another part of the field,
Mm-hmm.
or just specialize.
Yep.
Where all they do is touch the head, throw some color on it, and keep it moving, or something like that. Or just awaken them, where some of them end up becoming, like you said, designers, fashion designers.
Yeah.
And different things, or specialize in wigs. But the art thing, they might go into media with it happening now,
Yep.
you know.
Yep.
And they might wanna just take pictures. And that's, I think a lot of this does for kids, especially with them and their phones.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know, once they get a phone, they taking pictures of everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is a media thing, and I think, I hate to be, I gotta be honest, some of the things that they capture as far as fights in the bathrooms, they're like, what y'all do, plant? I mean, good shots.
Good
I'm
shots.
like, oh my God,
Yeah.
I was like, you need to take a look at this.
Some of them have a gift.
Yeah, so I'm not trying to promote you starting fights, but I'm promoting that you have a gift
Yeah.
with that, with the phone.
Absolutely.
Take it to another level.
Yep. And what happens is, in my years of teacher, I've had maybe one student go to art college, and I taught art. And for 7 years, I couldn't get the parents to have their sons or daughters go to art school because they don't believe that they can find a career in art. And so it was very hurtful to me because I'm like, I've made a very successful career as an artist and still am, but the people are doing things that they don't want to do. You got to be a doctor, you got to be a lawyer, you got to be a nurse, and it's like the kids are artists. They need to be doing what's going to make them happy and what the gift that God gave them. And so a lot of times the parents aren't aware of the opportunities that there are in the arts. And so that's another method of operation that I'm about, is presenting to parents the opportunities that there are in the arts. Comic book writers and creators, animators, graphic designers, the list goes on and on. People that design shoes and so on and so forth. So.
And that was very hot last year in terms of kids. If you gave them paper, they tried sneakers, or I had a couple students that went into were looking up painting, you know, the different types of paints to put on sneakers, what will stay on, and different things. So, I mean, as we speak, I have added, I told you there'd be 3. I added 2 more, 5. I've added 10 more. I added another school.
Okay.
And the art teachers, because you can teach from that aspect.
Right.
I think that'll be nice for you to fill up the
Absolutely.
cafeteria.
Excuse me, sorry to interrupt. Mr. Davis,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. My dad asked if he could buy a book.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he just don't know which one's is the $5 one.
The $5, those 3 right there.
These 3?
Yep. The 2 red and blue ones, and then the last one on the end. Those are the $5 books.
Here you go. I want the vanity one. That was cool.
The vanity one? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. You can get some crayons too.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I'll give it to you today. I'll sign it later. Just bring it back by the store so I can sign it.
Okay, thank you.
My tech teacher, kind of added 10 teachers. Yeah, because they wanted her to teach, media arts,
Mhm.
but they didn't give her a curriculum, so she's been pulling stuff together.
Mm.
But Edison has a very in-depth, media, they have several teachers in
Okay.
different areas, so Edison would be the one to contact.
So I'll tell you a little bit about the process of animation too. I went to school for animation, Savannah College of Art and Design in Savannah, Georgia. And this is called traditional animation. There's multiple kinds. There's traditional or 2D animation. There's 3D animation like Toy Story and Monsters Inc. And then you have stop motion, which is clay animation like Gumby. And so when I work with my team, I have a team in Africa, Nigeria, Africa, that helps me produce the animation. And so this is a real African American production. This is how they give it to me with no sound, right? So the process to get this done, all the sound effects and all the voices was done by me. All the editing, putting it all together to go in the streamline, the words on the screen. That's called motion graphics. That's also part of the graphic design media. And so my gift as an artist, I've done every form of art, from drawing, painting, sculpting, and digital arts. This is what you can produce when you put a team together. Most arts and animation has to be done by a team. And I can tell you, when I was in college, my final exam project was to create a 1-minute animation. Okay, 1 minute. That's all I could, that we had to create. It took me 9 weeks to do a 1-minute animation. That's because I did all the work myself, all the drawing, all the coloring. And so the process to do traditional animation is 12 frames a second. So there's 12 drawings to get 1 second of animation. So when I finished my final exam project, I had a big box, right, about this high, this wide, full of drawings, which was just for 1 minute of animation. And so the process is so complex where you have to do a sketch first, and then you pass it to another artist that's called a cleanup artist. They redraw it, which makes the artwork look clean, so you don't see the sketchy lines. Then you pass to the next artist, which is the coloring artist who does all the colors. Then you pass to the next artist who put the backgrounds in. And then you pass to the next artist who does the sound effects. Then you pass to the next artist to do the sound. So you have all of these artists working together as a team to produce animation. And if you think about Disney animation, it takes 4 years to do one movie because, yeah, it's for 1 second, it's 12 drawings. And then the price, to do it is very expensive to do animation. I paid about $2,500 per minute for animation. This is 10 minutes long. All right. So that's usually what the cost is to produce something like this. And I put over $50,000 into just this 10-minute production.
Wow.
And, that's part of being an entrepreneur. So entrepreneur, the term entrepreneur means a person that takes risk. And so I put a lot of risk. For one, sending money to Africa. My wife was like, "You finna do what? You finna send this money to who?" So a lot of Nigerians, they do those scams and stuff. So she was scared when I sent the money to Africa, but I just did it in faith, send the money, and this is the production that came out. It took us about a year to get the full production done, and maybe like 2 or 3 months at a time. I did it. Every time I raised some money, I would send it to them. They would do the next piece, and I just pieced it all together. To have this production. And so that's pretty much the process that's I think I started in 2020, so that's pretty much the production of how it took me from 2020 to 2022, 2023 to produce just this little bit of animation.
So who's the target audience for
this?
the product?
For the animation, I would say 6th grade and up still. Right, because some of the characters look kind of scary, have a little bit of violence in it. So I don't want to make it for little kids because some of them may be scared. I've shown it to little kids and they like it. But for this audience, I would say 6 and up. 6th grade and up to do it. And they can understand the concepts too.
Okay.
Yeah. Anything else?
I think as far as career exploration, excellent information, to know what it takes. I think the ones that created their comic books will be able to relate and say, well, what did I do to get to
Mm-hmm.
creating my comic book to if I want to do something like that,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So, like I said, I think this will take it another level. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to contact my friend in Arcadia.
So true. So what happens too is, again, issues 1 and 2 is the same story as the animation. So I'm just gonna take the storylines that was already created. So the initial idea for the whole armor was to be a cartoon. It wasn't supposed to be a comic book. But because animation is so expensive, and when I started in 2006, I didn't have the means or the know-how to how to bring all the pieces together. So I said, let me just get what God put inside me out through this media, which was comic books, and then one day I'll get to the animation. And so 20 years later, here we are. So the kids that you're talking about, there's another path that they can go, to tell their stories in various ways. They can do it through YouTube, they can do it through other media. They got Tubi, they have Roku, and those are other ways that they can get the videos and stuff out.
See, that's gonna be some good information.
Mm-hmm.
Where's art? Because we got some talented artists.
Yeah.
In the school. And I would like to see them develop it, because a lot of the students don't think about going to college.
Yeah.
They're so busy thinking they're gonna be athletes or whatever, and it's still in that mindset.
Yeah.
Yes, even at 2026, everybody still, they wanna be athletes and make that money.
Right.
So,
And then you got to give them the percentage of people that go from high school to the NFL, from high school to the NBA. And even if I was watching a podcast or something, and it says a lot of athletes, once they retire, they have no identity because all they know is I'm a basketball player or I'm a football player. But our people have to be able to know they have an identity outside of what they do. And so when people ask who you are, some of us would say, listen, I'm a Christian, or I'm an artist, or whatever, but they got to have an identity outside of just being that sport. And what I think a lot of us has failed to do for our young athletes is show them other paths. Once you make this $1 million, what you gonna do with this $1 million, and how you're gonna invest into the next part of your life. Don't just stay focused on the next 5 years as a football player or 10 years as a basketball player. What plan do you have going forward? And so those are some other things that I talk to youth about when I coach and mentor. How to be able to have financial literacy, which is another path that most people don't teach.
I just got through mine. I just started it. It's been fun. And this is gonna be excellent because just telling the story of how
Mm-hmm.
to get to that and the colors and stuff like that. And I didn't even think about bringing George's comic book to you, just so you could see it.
Oh yeah. Well, we can meet up. We can see it.
Yeah, I'll look for that, but I'll definitely, they went downtown to the Central Library and they did it, so I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
But once you connect with the librarian, Miss Robinson, she can tell you what they did and everything and make that connection.
Right.
But I really would like this to be an assembly, because now, like I said, whatever periods, I got an art teacher from both schools, both myself, home and career teachers, and tech.
Mm-hmm. That's all the areas right there.
Mhm.
I'm gonna take the time to read y'all one of the books.
Okay.
All right. So like I said, the books were from older kids, and so I said, let me do a children's book because a lot of people were asking for it. So I said, I'm gonna take these stories and just bring them down to the kids' level. So the first book is called Elijah's Belt: The Truth About Lies, and I'll read it to you and I'll show you the pictures just like we normally do. All right. So in a world of wonder where stories unfold, there lived a young hero, Elijah, so bold. His heart filled with kindness, his spirit so pure, he stood up for truth, and that was for sure. Yeah, I gotta say ooh when I show you the pictures. But lurking nearby with a wicked grin was a demon named Lion who thrived in sin. With his twisted powers, he aimed to deceive, to make people lie and make them believe. All right, so that's Lion. Lion would whisper with his dark magic spell, causing mischief and chaos. All would not end well. He twisted the truth like a twisted vine, spreading poison, one lie at a time. All right, that's what the enemy does, whisper stuff. But Elijah was ready, equipped for the fight, with the whole armor of God shining so bright. He wore the belt of truth, so strong and secure, to combat Lion's lies, to make them endure. As Lion approached with the lies he devised, Elijah stood tall with truth in his eyes. He saw through the lies and called them by name, exposing deception and putting Lion to shame. Lion grew furious. His powers were weak against Elijah's armor, so bold and unique. His arrows of fire, they had no effect. The shield of faith was its deflect. With each lie defeated, Elijah grew strong. The belt of truth gave him victory all along. Elijah thrives in honesty and spread it around, cutting off Lion's lies as they fell to the ground. And so, young children, remember Elijah's tale. The belt of truth will never fail. With the whole armor of God, stand up tall, defeat lies and deceptions once and for all.
And you know, at the same time.
Yeah.
I can see the difference.
So, any more questions? I think that's our time. What time is it? Is it 1 o'clock yet?
Yeah, it's 4 o'clock.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, I got to wrap it up. They can close the library. All right. So, I appreciate y'all coming out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank